Coming up, a bar fight leaves a man in trouble. Iowa women's basketball supports a project to build affordable housing.
The moment we've all been waiting for, the life of a showgirl is out.
The heat hangs on. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
All that and more.
Coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Friday, October 3rd. I'm Ryan Lynch.
And I'm Kenna Murtis.
And the third member of our team, Liz Schultz, is live outside at the Iowa River Terrace to give us a look at the weather outside. Liz, how are things feeling out there?
Absolutely. Well, good morning, Ryan and Kenna. It is gorgeous out here this morning. You can hear the birds chirping. And you know, although it is October, it is hot. I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing a lot of squirrels lately, which means hibernation's approaching. But let's take a look at that Pentacrest cam. We're still hitting those heat waves on and off. Right now it is 65 degrees, beautiful out, but soon that green grass is not going to be so green. Later on in the day, we're still going to see sunny skies with a high of 65 degrees. Tonight things are going to calm down a little bit and those clouds will be out with temperatures back in the low 80s. And tomorrow we've got another high of 90, so be sure to keep that summer wardrobe out. And you know, although I'm wearing flowers, I am still ready to see fall, but I'm going to send it back to Ryan and Kenna in the studio.
A man from Clinton, Iowa was charged after an incident in downtown Iowa City. 24-year-old Jacob Cooley was charged with assault causing serious injury. Cooley allegedly shoved the victim over the railing of the bar's sports column on September 28th at 1:15 in the morning. The victim landed on the cement and dislocated his shoulder. Officers described the victim's elbow as extremely displaced.
Rounds of rushing all around have finally wrapped up. For sororities, this time of year is huge with recruitment. We'll send it to DITV's Morgan Burhan, who is live outside Gamma Phi Beta Sorority House with an inside look of the process.
Thanks, guys. And for the last month, the newest class of sorority girls have spent their weekends traveling house to house and talking with members. But now they have finally found their new homes. On bid day, new members ran home to celebrate the end of recruitment and the start of a new beginning. While it's a day filled with excitement, the journey to get there is long and demanding.
Then they go through 3 different rounds of recruitment with various different houses. So it's like, you know, you might not pick a house, but they might pick you.
For potential new members, the experience comes with a lot of happy moments.
From my experience, everything face-to-face has been super positive.
I would do it again just because my conversations in the houses were so good.
But for others, the experience is not as fun.
At first, I didn't really understand what people said when they said it like really impacted their mental health. And then the second round, I got dropped by a house that I loved and I had amazing conversations at, and that like was really hard.
Tiredness you feel at the end of the day is real.
Out of the 1,000 girls who rushed this year, only about half ended up joining.
You know, a lot of girls like aren't so happy because they had their heart set on a house from the get-go, and then they, you know, don't get invited back to the house.
Despite all of the ups and downs, the sisterhood and friendships keep the sorority tradition alive at Iowa. Iowa brought in a record number of girls in recruitment this year, making it one busy month. Live from Gamma Phi Beta Sorority House, Morgan Burhans, DITV.
And the government is still shut down. Federal employees are currently unpaid, leaving many questions unanswered.
We have DITV's Kate Brennan live in the newsroom to help us understand what's going on.
That's right, guys. The United States government shut down at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday, October 1st. Congress failed to pass the funding bills that keep the federal agencies operating into the next year. Since there was no agreement made by the end of September, the government has gone into a partial shutdown. Some essential services will be continuing during this time, while others will not. The last time a shutdown occurred was in 2018 due to a stalemate between President Trump and congressional Democrats over funding the wall on the U.S. and Mexico border. This caused the government to go into a shutdown that lasted 35 days, the longest in history. And in Iowa, the lengthy shutdown could leave landlords' pockets a little lighter. On Wednesday, the Iowa City Housing Authority, or ICHA, sent out a letter stating they had the money to continue making housing assistance payments to landlords until December 31st, 2025. If landlords do not receive their housing assistance payments, they are not allowed to evict paying tenants. I'll send it back to Ryan and Kenna for more on affordable housing.
Iowa City plans to convert Roosevelt Elementary School into a new housing complex called Roosevelt Ridge. The City Council voted on September 2nd to rezone the former abandoned property into an affordable residential zone. The school closed back in 2011 due to declining enrollment and was sold to the Together We Grow development in 2021 for $1.25 million. No date has been set on when construction will take place.
From watching sunsets to skydiving, the University of Iowa is home to over 600 clubs on campus. DITV Isabel Thayer took a look at one in particular that is working to break stereotypes.
Typically, when someone thinks of an engineer, they think of men. Men, 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 and more men. And in some cases, this might be true. The woman here had a different idea.
Now, while engineering has seemed like a male-dominated field for the last couple decades, that is no longer the case, and a group of young women here at the University of Iowa are part of SWE, the Society of Women in Engineering, helping to better them and their future careers.
SWE is a national program that was founded in the early 1950s, with chapters found all across the country designated to empower women in a male-dominated field.
We have a mission of supporting women in engineering, and as a person of color and also a woman in a male-dominated field, it's super important to me to keep continuing this club and making sure it lasts for generations.
SWE offers a variety of different activities throughout the semester, which vary from personal to professional development.
I feel like I've grown a lot. I feel like I'm more confident in the things that I do, and I think I feel more creative.
The recent DEI changes have created some hurdles for the SWE chapter, as their funding has been cut and they're no longer allowed to be advertised by the university. This, however, is not stopping them with over 250 members. So the next time you're in the Siemens Center, instead of seeing men, 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 maybe you'll see woman, women, women.
And while the University of Iowa's SWE chapter continues to keep flourishing and growing, they will continue to do events throughout the year. From the University of Iowa's Siemens Center, Isabel Thier, DITV.
And coming up later, Iowa field hockey takes on the reigning champs, a preview of Iowa soccer, and women's basketball lands a top recruit. All that and more after the break.
Stories occur every day, and here at DITV, we've got you covered with up-to-date news and politics.
We are anxiously waiting for those votes for not only the national election, but here in District 1.
Community members protest and stand for science.
Keeping highlights and scores with Hawkeye Sports.
Advancing to the quarterfinals, Iowa looks to boost their overall placement and their way into the semis.
It's Iowa's second road win of the season, first since September 21st.
And of course, all the latest in entertainment.
Sit back, relax, and here's the word on the street.
I'm here at the Alan McVeigh Theater, where a unique performance.
Here at DITV, we've got a crew bringing you all the stories from across the nation and right here in your backyard.
From the Iowa State Fair.
In Nashville, Tennessee.
From downtown Iowa City.
From Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And bringing all the coverage straight to you live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Around the University of Iowa and Iowa City community, we have the stories that matter to you here at DITV.
Welcome back.
Thank you for tuning in to DITV this morning.
Let's take a look back outside with Liz for a glance at the week ahead.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan and Kenna, this feels like the perfect weekend to check out some of our state parks. And you know, I'm from North Liberty, so I cannot recommend Lake McBride more. But we're going to take a look at those weekend temperatures. Sunday, we've got a hot day with a high of 88 and sunny skies. Monday, things are going to calm down to the 70s, and we will finally see rain, my favorite. And Tuesdays, those showers continue with a high of 65. Wednesday, the sun is back in the high 60s, and Thursday, those cooler temperatures continue in the 60s. And I know I said before that I've been seeing a lot of squirrels lately, but luckily, I brought some snacks for them. Come here, squirrels! I don't think they're loving the heat, but for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
And Ryan, it sounds like it's starting to cool down a bit. Every day we're getting closer and closer to basketball season, right?
Absolutely. There's a ton of news for the Iowa women's basketball team, obviously with recruiting and ticket sales, but also the way that they engage with the community. DITV's Colin Carruthers visited a house in progress that's closer to a finish thanks to the team.
The Iowa women's basketball team is always putting in the work, but sometimes it's not on the court. They came out here at the Coralville where they exchanged their basketballs for hard hats, hammers, and drills, and teamed up with the Iowa Valley Habitat for Humanity to help build this house. This team up is a part of Women Build, an annual program that empowers women and allows them to take action in helping build affordable housing.
Say just like coming together as women to achieve a common goal, which is building this house for a family in need. So
here, they're helping a family of 6. The family, through the Diversity Visa program, left Sedan back in 2015. They currently live in a really tiny apartment in Iowa City, but this house would allow their family to have space to grow. It also allows for the Hawkeyes to show their appreciation for the city they call home.
Well, I think the community, they support us so much. And it's just nice to give back in a variety of ways. And I think our young women do a really good job.
Well, this event will still improve the team as well. Sure, it isn't practice on the court, but it's making special memories and bonding in what is pretty much a metaphor for their upcoming year.
And I think it's great for them to have to work in little groups together and see their work similar to like as they go in the season. With time, you're building a house, and it's just a whole season of doing that.
While the Hawks help with this portion of the project, there'll be other groups continuously coming in to help finish this house behind me for the first-time homeowners. From Coralville, Iowa, Colin Carruthers, DITV Sports.
And while fans eagerly await the start of the season, the future of the women's basketball team also just got a whole lot brighter. 5-star forward McKenna Velichko picked the Hawkeyes over Ohio State, USC, and South Carolina. While recent battles for top recruits and top 10 players have left the Hawkeyes empty-handed, Velichko will join Addie Deal as the second 5-star recruit during Jan Jensen's tenure. And the biggest field hockey game of the season is coming to Iowa City this evening when the #1 ranked reigning national champion Northwestern Wildcats face off against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Through their first 9 games of their title defense season, Northwestern is undefeated and has only allowed 2 goals. At the same time, they've scored 31. On the other side, the #10 ranked Hawkeyes have a leg up in goals scored with 32, but also have allowed 15 across 8 games. Their only loss this season is to #2 North Carolina, and this massive game begins at 5 p.m. at Grant Field. Players for Iowa in that game tonight is Dion Van Alsum, who alongside Caden Weechin received the September Student Athlete of the Month award. Van Alsum leads the nation with 16 goals this year, 13 of which came in September, and Weechin has tallied over 500 all-purpose yards, 2 return touchdowns, a rushing and receiving touchdown in the first 5 games of the season. And following the Iowa women's soccer team's successful trip out west to Nebraska, the Hawks return home to take on the Michigan Wolverines in the annual Pinkout game tomorrow night. The Hawkeyes will look to rely on their offense that has them 3rd in the Big Ten in scoring with 23 goals on the season compared to Michigan's 14. But they'll have to get through an impressive defensive team, especially one that knows how to guard the net, as Michigan's goalkeeper Sophie Homan has 48 saves this season so far, ranking 3rd among goalies in the Big Ten. Iowa volleyball will also embark on a 2-game road trip out to the West Coast starting tonight. The 9-3 Ducks are Iowa's first test in their venture out west, where 2 programs will meet for only the 3rd time ever. That series history is tied 1-1. And then the next day, Iowa will head to Seattle to face Washington, seeking their first ever win against a struggling Husky program. And nothing says October like a little fall baseball. While most eyes are on the MLB playoffs, both the Iowa baseball and softball teams have games this weekend. Tonight, the softball team hosts Southeastern Community College at 6 p.m. for a 10-inning game, and then tomorrow afternoon, the baseball team plays Missouri in an 18-inning game starting at 12 p.m. Guys, there's so much sports going on. 28 innings of baseball this weekend. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and with baseball and softball getting some games, I know that Taylor Swift had the bases loaded with anticipation for her new album.
That's right, the new album dropped last night, so let's get into the vibe for the whole rundown. And yesterday was a huge day for Swifties. Taylor Swift's new Life of a Showgirl album has dropped. On Spotify, the album became the most pre-saved album ever on Spotify's countdown page, averaging to 5 million pre-saves. This is Taylor's 12th album, and ironically, the album has 12 tracks. She recorded a large amount of the album when she was on the European part of her Eras tour, drawing inspiration from her own experiences while on the road. Swift described the album as being full of energetic bangers, so not quite as many sad romance songs on this one, and the lead single, Fate of Ophelia, throws a nod at Shakespeare's Hamlet and the tragic character Ophelia. Over 500 Target stores opened at midnight to sell the album, and fans can also attend a special watch party in the AMC theaters. Happy listening, Swifties, and I hope this album exceeds all of your wildest dreams. One of Iowa City's very own crowned the best college bar in the country. DITV's Hannah Lipsky takes us behind the bar to break down the history and legacy of this downtown staple.
The Airliner, home of the infamous Hammer. Generations of Hawkeyes, celebrities, and Iowa City natives hold this place near and dear to their hearts. And now, the whole country knows the name of this sports bar on Clinton Street that has stood the test of time.
So to me, it wasn't necessarily a surprise that we're the best college bar, as I think we keep things up to standard as best as we can.
And to those who work there, it doesn't feel like a job, but a home away from home.
So it's a very fun environment, and I can see that kind of projects onto the public when they come in here.
And it's not just the employees who feel this way.
The second they walk in the door here, all their problems in life, anything they're worried about, or any issues they're dealing with is just right out of their mind. They're here, it feels like home, and they have nothing to worry about.
The athletics rankings weren't for the hottest place to be on a night out, but a place to visit that has great food and a story to tell.
The Airliner not only prides itself on being the best college town bar in the country, but also the legacy and history that comes along with being the oldest bar in Iowa City.
In 1944, Joe Ranella opened the Airliner with a grocery store attached. The history is painted all over the walls. You can see the Navy men sitting at the same bar college kids flock to every weekend.
We do try to keep it alive, hang up the pictures from, previous decades, previous eras, to almost pay homage to those people that were here before us. Yeah, I would say the legacy of Airliner is continuing the tradition. We're not necessarily just another bar downtown, but we're a real part of Iowa City's history.
Joe's grandson and current owner Jim and his wife Sherry are keeping their family's legacy alive, with many more hammers and years to come. From the Airliner, Hannah Lipsky, DITV Arts and Culture.
And yesterday kicked off the first day of the annual Oktoberfest Festival in the Amana Colonies. This is the 60th year Amana has hosted this event. Oktoberfest will run through October 5th, and people can participate in a variety of activities besides just drinking authentic German beer, like a keg tapping ceremony, yodeling contest, and seeing folk singers. I will be heading up there later today to catch the full story on this favorite tradition. However, Oktoberfest did not originate in the Amana Colonies, but all the way over in Munich, Germany. Over in Munich, Oktoberfest runs for 16 to 18 days from late September to early October, and it has been named the world's largest folk festival, attracting about 6 million visitors annually. Visitors enjoy beer, traditional Bavarian food, music, parades, and carnival rides. And for our Feel Good Friday news, let's take a trip back in time. That's right, everyone. This year marks the 40th year anniversary of the release of the smashing hit Back to the Future. Great Scott, that's got to make the parents feel old. And to celebrate this historic moment, Back to the Future will be returning to theaters. The film originally came out in 1985, and fans were introduced to the DeLorean time machine as Doc and Marty travel back in time to 1955, the year Marty's parents discovered the power of love. Back to the Future truly became a cultural phenomenon with an everlasting impact. 4 decades later, this movie is still attracting fans, and to catch the film in theaters this October 31st to celebrate the timeless classic. And that's it for this week's The Vibe, but catch us next Friday for more arts, entertainment, and culture updates. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
And today is a very happy day.
Yes, Ryan, it's World Smile Day.
This makes me super happy, especially seeing all of our smiling faces.
One of my favorite things to do is smile. This day is meant for acts of kindness and showing all those pearly whites.
Absolutely, and even better, today is also a Friday. And it will be all smiles for this weekend for me. Thank you for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. online anytime, dailyiowan.com.
For all of us here, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you again on Monday morning right here on DITV.